Lockdown Academy taught y'all the basics, but there is still more to know. Stick to the end of this video to learn even more advanced and in-depth tips and tricks to turn into an elite lockdown defender on NBA 2K24. What's poppin' YouTube? This is Google Too Lovely. I'm back with another video on the channel. Today we got Advanced Lockdown Academy, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna be addressing all of the common questions in the comment section of my other Lockdown Academy video. Link in the description if you haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna give y'all both of my updated lock builds so far on 2K24, and we're going to additionally talk about defensive positioning, such as cutting off baseline, forcing your man directions, things of that nature. If y'all like this video, please drop a like. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it helps me out more than y'all would ever know. Lockdown Academy currently is sitting at around 1.7k likes, so let's see if Advanced Lockdown Academy can be the video that dethrones that as the most liked video on my channel. And if y'all rock with me, if y'all rock with the channel, my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're on the road to 2k. Y'all can see the sub count above my face cam, and we're making slow progress bit by bit every day, and I truly appreciate all the support that y'all have been giving me. And last but not least, all of my other social links and link to Discord server is in the description down below, so go pull up on those if y'all want to show love. And without further ado, y'all know what I love to say best, man. Enough talking. Let's get straight into the video. Come on now. Alright y'all, so as you can see, this is my new 6'8" lock that I dropped a video on, the most recent video on my channel before this lockdown video. So let's go ahead and talk about the attributes here. So this build is a 6'8". I went 1 inch taller than my previous lock. I like this lock a lot better on the park in certain situations because this one is a little bit more versatile. You can run the 3 on the 3s court with this build, but this build is also a demon on the 2s, on the 5s. It can guard any position on the court, easy peasy. So we went with a 75 driving dunk, so you get all your athletic dunks, your 360s off one, 84 mid-range for the jump shots and for gold midi magician, 79 3-point so you could green from anywhere, 75 pass accuracy for that silver break starter, 40 speed with ball so that you could speed boost out of normal dribble style, 74 interior, 93 perimeter. I went lower with this steal. I went 95, which is still good for Hall of Fame interceptor, 87 block, 85 rebound so you could be a horse. And then for the physicals, I threw on a 90 strength for Goldie movable enforcer and an 80 vertical so that you could really get up there on your rebounds. But if you guys want more in-depth analysis of this build, why I made the attributes the way they are, and a lot of gameplay clips, I highly recommend you guys check out that video. And now, as y'all could see, this is the lockdown that everybody knows and loves on my channel. My 3&D threat 99 steal lockdown of death. So obviously getting this steal to a 99 was incredibly expensive, so I had to sacrifice in a lot of other areas, unfortunately. But in my opinion, I am a firm believer that there's only 2 attributes that are genuinely worth it to go 99, and that's either steal or your rebounding. Other than that, I feel like no attribute in the game has any true worth at 99 for how expensive it is. But as you can see, we have decent finishing. I gave myself a higher layup. We have the same 3-pointer, significantly lower mid-range. It is what it is. I had to sacrifice in some areas for the 99 steal. Very similar pass accuracy, very similar interior D and perimeter, but we have the 99 steal, same block, significantly less rebound, but on this build, it's not that big of a deal because this one is a 6'7", so this is more of a pure perimeter lock, not really meant to play the 3s so much. But I've still gotten away playing the 3 on this so many times in the park, and this build is also a demon in the 5s. You just have to know what you're doing. 80 vertical, really solid, you're getting up there. Lower strength, however, you are faster with the 85 speed, and I believe this build gets gold fast feet, which the other one only gets bronze. I haven't noticed a huge difference between the 2, to be honest, but if there is a difference, there you have it. And this right here, of course, is just a quick recap of my 3&D threat. I really did just want to show you guys real quickly all of my lockdown builds that I'm currently rocking with on a regular basis. So just to catch everybody up to speed, there goes both of my main lockdown builds that I rock all in one video. And of course, down the road, I might release a lockdown here and there. But for now, you guys are all caught up in the loop. Let's go ahead and head into the next section. Franklin watched Lockdown Academy. He's been in the lab and he's looking like a much better lockdown than he did before watching. And that's great to see because the goal of my channel is to help people out and spread positivity in the 2K community. However, Franklin decided that it's time to make the jump to the next level. So he started asking some questions that weren't really answered in the first video. Why? Because 1, it was a more general purpose guide. 2, it was a lot of information to drop on y'all at once. And 3, I genuinely forgot some things because I'm a dumbass. So, without further ado, here are all the answers to Franklin's, aka y'all in the comments, questions after watching Lockdown Academy. Do you hold L2 or LT at all times? If not, when do you decide to hold and when do you not? For those of y'all that don't know, all holding LT does is put you in intense defense mode. If you notice, your player squares up against the offensive player and holds his ground at all costs. With that being said, I believe this is best used when you are in good defensive positioning. If we use basic logic here, y'all want to get in good defensive position and stay in it at all costs. But when do I decide to let go of LT? Letting go of LT allows your player to run freely and sprint. So anytime I get beat, or I lose my defensive positioning, I want to try to let go of LT and sprint back for a block or just get back in front of my defender. So anytime I get beat or lose my defensive positioning, I want to let go of LT and try to sprint back for a block or get in front of the offensive player. In shorter terms, I use LT or L2 when in good defensive position and don't want to lose it. And I let go when you lose your position and are trying to get it back. What method is more effective? Using right stick ripper or glove to get steals? The answer to this question is up to you. When the game first dropped before the first few patches, right stick ripper was incredibly broken and gave you a steal almost every time. However, since the patch, they have definitely nerfed it and it is not as effective or broken as it used to be. But that does not mean it doesn't work. I like to tell people to stick to their preference. If you like reaching with the right stick, go for it. Me personally, I prefer to use X or square to steal. And the reason why this is because a lot of times when you start fidgeting with your right stick on defense, it can lead to you reaching when you don't want to, and pulling your stick in the wrong direction by accident will make your player do a closeout contest animation and force them to be stuck in mud. To put it in more simpler terms, just do whatever you prefer. I like to mix it up, so all the power is to you. How do you stop the cheesy Magic Johnson dribble style crossover? The easiest way to get this done is to look at your opponent's tendencies. For example, I look for moments when people like to do the move. Most commonly, people do the cross after a snatchback or a size up escape. With that knowledge in my head, I try my best to predict the move and make a play before it even happens. Having the ability to predict someone's moves will make it really easy for you to put them in a straitjacket. People don't realize that taking away the Magic Johnson cross is all you need to do to completely clamp up 60 to 70 players of the game. And I saved this question for last because this isn't really a defensive question, but a lot of people are asking me the jump shot I'm using on my 6'8". I'm currently using Ben Shepherd base, Oscar Robertson release 1, and Kyle Korver release 2. 1 under max speed, and 83 to 17 blending. Now, unfortunately, you need at least an 84 mid-range or three-pointer to use this jump shot, which is exactly why you guys saw me finesse an 84 mid-range on my most recent hybrid defender. So, hopefully for those of y'all that can use this jump shot, I've had amazing results with it on push or release. I taught y'all the secrets to maximizing steals. I put y'all in the mentality of a lock. I provided y'all with my personal defensive settings. I gave y'all my personal updated lockdown builds, and I answered all of the frequently asked questions from the first Lockdown Academy video. But guess what? I'm not even done yet, because on top of all of these keys to success, I will also be blessing y'all with quick tips to improve your defensive positioning positioning to make you even more of a demon lock than you have become. Positioning is arguably the most important factor as a lock. Yes, even more important than getting steals or blocks. Do you want to be bumpy? Do you want to hold your matchup to 2 for 7 shooting? Do you want the other team's PG to uninstall their game? Well, it all starts with positioning. And the reason why I held off on this in the first Lockdown Academy video is because while it seems simple, positioning can become a very complex thing when guarding someone that has high IQ and knows what they're doing. But the point of these videos is to provide y'all the basics and then improve from there. No one becomes elite after watching one tutorial video and 2 games of practice. With that being said, let's get into the most important section of being a lockdown. Positioning can have a million different cases, so let's start off simple and work our way up. Cutting off baseline is probably the most effective way to clamp down 80% of players on 2K. I wish this wasn't the case, but in a year where strength is so important and people are running high bulldozer and high driving dunk, lots of people will rely forcing baseline to get a bucket, especially after you clamp up their first option. And y'all really have to hear me out with this one, because I am not capping when I say something as simple as cutting off baseline can take most players completely out of the game offensively. As you can see, there are so many examples of me getting bumpy, cutting off baseline, and making people look useless. And y'all can do the same. On the 2s, on the 3s, on the 5s, it does not matter. This is a basic principle that can clamp anyone down on any court. But how do I cut off baseline, you might ask? Well, it's incredibly simple and doesn't even require you to press a single button technically. Simply move your player and put his body between the offensive player and the rim. Act as a roadblock when the ball handler is trying to drive to the rim. This can be a reaction, this could be premeditated. Just get all up in their business and do not let them get a corny baseline bucket. It seems so simple, and to be honest, it's as simple as it sounds. However, a change so simple yet so effective is something that every lockdown needs to add to their arsenal. Taking away an offensive player's safety blanket is the easiest and most effective way to make them completely worthless. So, to summarize, cut off baseline, force them middle, get a lot of stops. On to the next one. The next major topic I want to address about positioning is knowing where to force offensive players. This is an incredibly useful skill to have because you are essentially setting your opponents up for failure by having to do minimal defensive work. If a player is working on the left hash and you have a teammate to the right of you playing defense, force them to the right into your teammate. This can make him panic, pass, get blitzed, get contested if he tries to peek. The combinations of their failure are endless. Does your opponent like to rim run? Cut off baseline and force the middle, because guess what? Your 7-foot humongous stallion big man will be sitting paint and waiting for his arrival. As a lockdown defender, you always have to be aware of your position and everyone else's position on the court when it comes to defense. This will help you set up so many turnovers, which can lead to fast break buckets. Remember when I told y'all in Lockdown Academy 1 that the number of steals you see doesn't determine your skill at lock? What I am teaching you right now should serve as direct evidence that what I told y'all is 100% true. And with this short yet pretty detailed tutorial, congratulations, because you have just finished the final section of Lockdown Academy 2. But with all of that being said, congratulations to y'all. Go ahead and clap it up, because y'all just finished Advanced Lockdown Academy. I had someone comment on my other video talking about how they felt like they just finished school and they need their degree, and that shit is funny. So last Lockdown Academy, y'all got your bachelor's, now you got the master's degree, and who knows, I might have to drop the PhD one day. But let's go ahead and wrap up this video. If y'all rock with this video, please drop a like. Let's try to dethrone Lockdown Academy 1 as the most liked video on on my channel. And as y'all can see in the sub count, that's how long it took me to edit this video. I was slacking a little bit, Thanksgiving happened, but now that it's over, I got back to the grind. I'm getting this video out. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving with their family and friends. And I got another banger cooking up for y'all. Should be out sometime by the end of this week, depending on my schedule. And last thing before I get this video out, I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their day, man.